Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. For me, it's the morning here right now. I think it's about 8 a.m. or something like this. Anyway, KR asked the question on Discord, right, regarding altcoins. And I wanted to talk about this because it's a complex question, right? It's like, when is the altcoin season? It's a complex season as a question, right? Let me explain to you, right? So obviously, like when you start looking at the market, and I've talked about this many times as well, we have to look at the most dominant coin in order to understand the direction of the market. So we understand the direction of the market currently still positive. We are seeing some signs of a bit of a weakness on the daily. I've mentioned that before. And on the weekly, we are very strong. Plus the 2 weekly, even more stronger, right? So that's all good for us. So we know that everything is looking positive. However, around that $94,000, $95,000 level, we're seeing a bit of a resistance, which is good, because that means that if we can hold that as a support, right, then that just gives us another platform to move off from, and we can actually achieve higher numbers. So think about it that way, right? Of course, our main resistance level is around the 98,000, which we're going to come to. Now, I want to talk about altcoins, right? So altcoins is quite complex right now. I mean, if you asked me a few years ago, right, you said, altcoin, I could tell you with the blink of an eye what the altcoin season is going to be, how it's going to be, when it's going to happen, right? Or, what to expect. But it's hard now because of obviously we have millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of coins, right? Thousands coming out every single day. So because of that, it's actually kind of confused the system, right? Confused the mindset, confused the algorithms, you name it, whatever, confused everything. Unless we find a way to segregate like community tokens and XYZ and all sorts of others, then things work, right? Then we know what a real altcoin is, because now it's kind of blurred, right? You don't know what a real altcoin is. You don't know what a meme coin is, right? Meme coins are technically community tokens, whatever you want to call them. So it's harder now, right? Of course, for me, the way my indicator for altcoins would be when BTC, like now, right, goes a bit stagnant, doesn't do much, right, hovers around a particular level. And then when we see some major league blue chip altcoins, right, start to pump, right? Now, one good indicator for me, right, has always been, and you're going to hear this, you're going to be shocked, right? I actually do have a indicator coin for altcoin season. And many of you have probably heard me talk about it years ago, if not recently, but many years ago, you've heard me talk about it. And I want you to go and search for it and follow that coin. Don't buy it, just follow that coin. That's one of the best altcoin season indicators out there, right? It's called Bakery, right? There's a token called Bake. Bakeries, similar to, it was a copy of Sushi Swap. But that particular token is a brilliant indicator to tell you what direction the market's going. So if that thing becomes positive, even by a few percent, believe me, the alts are going to start moving. And that's when you start seeing like Link and all the other coins out there start to perform really good, right? So that's what you need to look for. I mean, that's the only indicator that I have for the alts, right? For me, Bakery has been a good indicator so far. I don't know why, but compared to all the other coins, even Sushi, the one that copied, right? Bakery has been mostly like accurate for me, if I have to say, right? Accurate. I think that's probably the right word. But yeah, it does give me a good indication, and I can see higher percentage moves. I'm not talking about 2x, 3x, 4x. Of course, there are some coins that will happen, but that's mostly to do with community push and, a lot of manipulation, right? But I'm not going into that. I'm just saying generally, if we are looking at some coins to do 20, 30, 40%, and some of them can do 20, 30% in a day, right? And they can continuously stack in a day. So of course you might end up getting your 2, 3x's, right? But I just want to be transparent, and I don't want to be a guru or whatever and say, right, this is what's going to happen. No, let's be transparent and let's be honest about it. Nobody can tell you when the altcoin season is going to start. Altcoin season is a thing of its own, right? It does whatever it wants to do. And ultimately, it's all dependent on the communities and dependent on the manipulators, right? The pump and dump, the hype group, right? So as long as someone's out there shilling some particular coin, it's going to get pumped, right? If they're not doing that, then it's not going to get pumped. So this is the hard reality of how crypto works right now. Complete pure manipulation. That's how it is. But as I said, when I look at the market, when I look at the seasons, when I look at the runs, right? Because we have a bull market and a bull run. When I look at the runs, I usually follow the biggest one, the most dominant one, because that's the one controlling the market right now. And then with the alts, including Ethereum, which is an alt as well, I tend to look at Bakery and see what kind of performance it's doing. So if it's showing negative signs, I don't think there's anything happening right now. But if it shows positive signs, yeah, then I know something's moving. And just to be transparent, I hold Bakery from day one. I still hold it, right? I've never sold it. I bought a very small amount. It goes up and down, but I've over time I've actually started to use it as a expensive indicator. Let's put it this way, a permanent expensive indicator, right? But it's helped me so much because it keeps me grounded. And that's the thing you need to also look at, guys. Find something that keeps you grounded. Find something that keeps you calm. Find something that you know, okay, I don't need to lose my hair over it. I can be calm. I can be in the market if I want to. I can be out of the market if I want to. I can be off the screens if I want to, off the socials if I want to, because I know that all I need is these 1 or 2 indicators to ping me, because you set up some sort of alert or whatever, ping me the directions. That's it. Like, you know, for me, I have like when BTC falls below a certain level to ping me, when it goes above a certain level to ping me, so I know immediately what's happening because I can see it on my notifications, right? Similar way, I have, like as a Bakery, if it falls below a certain price, I know, okay, that's the direction it's moving right now. If it goes above a certain price, I know the direction right now. Do you know what I mean? So find things like that. These are unique, right? Of course, this is quite unique to me. Most people would use some sort of a crazy indicator or whatever. Yeah, you can, but you've seen me many times and I've talked about it and I've shared many charts as well, where I don't really bother with too many fancy indicators. Forget it, there's no point, right? The only thing I do suggest, if anybody's confused, it's going to be more confusing, is invert your colors on your chart, right? So your green should be red and your red should be green, because we should be excited whenever we see red, so that's a green for us, and whenever we see a green we should be fearful. And that's the most important thing, because that's how you're going to be calm and you're going to understand when to buy, when to sell, right? So that's the one thing you can do. Other than that, guys, I hope this video was informative. I hope this answers your question, KR, and I'm going to catch you guys on another one very soon. I'm on a long drive. I'm actually going quite far today, but yeah, I'll like, share, subscribe, all of those kind of good stuff, and I'll catch you guys on another one. Of course, if there is anything else that you want me to talk about, when I do get a time, I will drop something, but you guys know I'm not one of those every day on a timetable, on a schedule type of guy. I come on when I can, and of course, if there's a question that I feel that I need to answer, like this particular one, I could have easily sent a message on Discord, but I don't think it would have conveyed the message and it would have explained exactly what I wanted to say, right? Hence why I did a video, because to be transparent, nobody can predict the altcoins, especially the altcoin season, with the amount of altcoins we have, and we have to understand the fundamentals behind it, which is basically they all community backed and community led, right? So, you know, and unless something's popping, you don't know what's going to happen. So let's see what happens anyway. Other than that, I'll catch you on another one very soon. Adios, my amigos. Thank you.